Luke. And welcome everyone to the episode 46 of the Pear podcast.
Hello. Yay.
Oh, sorry, I'll just do my wave goodbye. That's not really... I've just not been doing it that much.
It's not time to go yet.
No.
It's great to be here. Hello. How you doing?
I think I say it every time, but it's like been a long time, but this time it has been like a really, really long time.
This might be the longest that we've been without recording, because it's been like a month over Christmas, right?
Yep. A month. It's been a long month. Lots of things have happened as well.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on. So we just got like a sneak peek of one of the things that happened.
Yeah,
I don't know if you could see on your screen, but
yeah, I just seen like a wee corner, like a pink.
Yeah.
So Cherry is now a resident of Loughram. Cherry from Realby.
Yeah, we're at Sandy's today, and Cherry's moved over. So how that came about was I had Judy staying in the campsite as a surprise visitor, and that was lovely. And I've always really liked Judy because I think she has like such a lovely, soft voice. So I've always wanted her to come and stay, but I asked her a few times and she wasn't really very interested. But I got her Amiibo last year, so I just scanned her in, and we've been talking about Cherry coming to stay at Loughram for ages, so that's really good timing. It coincided with someone moving out, didn't it, in yours?
Yeah, so Caesar moved out and I just got his picture. So that was... And so yeah, when he asked to move out, I was like, yes.
Oh, it's good to see her here, and she's being well looked after already. I had a look at her garden that you've made. It's lovely.
Yeah, I've been using a lot of the new items for her garden.
It's really fitting. I love the colours, obviously, and I hadn't seen that item before. That you called it a wooden partition, I think.
Yeah, the wood partition. It's like I think it's like a fence panel. You described it as a headboard, but which I can see
Yeah.
why. But I've been using it as a fence panel.
Yeah, it looks properly like a fence, except that it's, they're all the same kind of width wide, aren't they? They're like 2 squares wide. Yeah. Oh, but that looks really cool. Oh, I'm glad she's here. That's great. Nice to see her walking back and forwards.
She's clearly knows we're talking about her, or she's trying to get us to talk about her.
Yeah. Oh, she's great.
Yeah, she's funny. She was looking forward to the fishing tournament. I think I got her the day before, but because I've been time travelling, I was able to get her in and moved in ready in time for her to compete.
I know. I checked in with you because I was a bit worried that she'd been looking forward to it. And remembering how cute she looked in her outfits from like the previous ones.
Yeah, well, she had a short sleeve top on and she was freezing. She told me I think she said she was a dogsicle. Oh. I think I sent a screenshot. It's quite funny.
You got to be prepared and go out in the right kit. Especially as they just stand there like hour after hour not catching anything. And you're like running up and down the island.
Yeah, like some of them were like just there for the full time that I was playing for a couple hours during the fishing tournament. I think it was Jay. He was like up at the back of the island, just at this random spot that I've never even seen a villager at before, and he was just standing there himself for the full time that I was playing.
Yeah, maybe he'd been scoping it out for weeks. He was like, that's my spot. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my Cast Master achievement right in that spot there.
Well, I actually got my 50. That was me just reading the 50 mark. And I was like, and I wasn't even thinking about it. But see, after I got the 50, and it came up because obviously I got the little notification, and then after I think I got to 52. And I was gutted. No. I think because I knew that I was on
you got the nerves.
I was on a roll, and then that was me. But now that that's out the way, I'm not going to get another notification until I reach 100. Is it 100 next one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
100's so hard.
I've got a couple of fish that I need to catch, and one of them is this season. I think it ends in February, so I think it's after 9 o'clock though, so I'll need to spend a bit of time doing that, so maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll try to catch those fish.
I think the only way is to have 100 bait and, complete peace and quiet and just settle in. I find as soon as I get distracted, that's it. I scare them away.
See, I think it gets really boring when you're standing. I like to just walk around the island. Or if you're on the river. I actually had to make a pond because I didn't have a pond on the island. All I've got is rivers. And I was looking for...
you needed a pond fish?
A pond fish. I think it was for a recipe. Yeah. How did you go on at the fishing tournament? That was just the most recent thing that's happened on my island, I think.
I didn't catch anything new, unfortunately. I think I was luckily found that I had about 5 or 6 bait in my storage. But yeah, I had a go. I always like to take part, even if these days I don't fully commit to it, because there's not really any items left that I want.
Yeah, I only done one with CJ, and then spent the rest of the time just taking pictures or just going round and try to catch fish to make some fish recipes that I hadn't already made, that I've learned but I hadn't made them yet.
It's lovely seeing all your villagers there and doing it, but as they don't actually take part, I feel like if you're not doing it with other people, there's not really a lot of point. I did travel off and do some at another island, which was nice.
It's always better when you're doing it with someone.
Yeah.
Maybe more competitive, because as you said, the villagers don't take part.
Yeah, I do kind of like that though, because in New Leaf, I could just never beat them.
What?
They were always the winners.
It was so easy.
Oh, maybe for you. I don't think I ever won a single competition.
It was the only time I ever wanted to catch a sea bass, because it was usually the biggest fish.
Oh, maybe I just didn't have your technique down, but...
Oh, actually, tell you something that I'm not good at, that I was last year. Snowboys. I actually was freaking out with these snowboys. I know you had trouble with building the snowmen last year.
Yeah. Well, I had a good start last time, and then it went wrong after that. But
I think it was all my gloating last year about how good I could build the snowboys.
Right.
And then I think I made one this year. And it was only because I used I don't know if you've seen it, it's like the plaza trick. So if you roll 2 full-sized snowballs, and then I have them at either side of the plaza, and then roll one over to the other side, and I think it's 10 spaces on the road, so it makes a perfect snowboy.
So you roll it 10 spaces across the plaza so that some of the snow comes off?
Yeah.
And that worked?
I've seen people doing it. Yeah, that was the only time it worked. And I never done that last year because I thought that was cheating, and obviously I could just do it myself. But this year I have not been able to do it.
Oh, okay. That's good. Good to know. And that's a nice place for them too, if they're standing next to the resident services. I think I've made 2 perfect ones this year. Definitely one, I think 2. Yeah, 2, because the second one I didn't get a recipe. And there was 1 new recipe this year, is that right?
Yeah, I got was it the little snow? There was a little snowman, an icicle snowman, a nice sculpture. I'm not sure what it was actually.
The tiny little snow ice sculpture. Yeah. They're like ice. They're like snow folk, but ice, and they're small.
See, I thought we got the frozen fence DIY from the snowmen as well. That's why I was so determined to build snowmen.
But you get that from a balloon.
You got it for the balloon. Yeah, I literally went onto Discord to moan about it, and then I got it, popped a balloon 2 minutes after.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to make too many of them. I had a frustrating few attempts. when they go, "Oh, you're so close," and then they start mocking you, you're like, "But you are so close. Come on, what's the difference?"
I do like that dialogue though. I like it when they're a bit cheeky.
It's great to see the snow has settled. I think when we did our last one, we were just getting some flurries of snow, but everything was really grey, wasn't it?
Yeah,
We
it was
were
that yucky
moaning
colour.
about that kind of the grey grass and the grey trees. So I love these snow-covered bushes and trees and the nice ground.
The only thing I don't like about the ground is, I don't know, I can see one in the corner of my screen just now, is the fossils just seem like, see the fossil holes, they just seem more like pronounced, and I've been ignoring them for the last few months. I've not been digging up fossils, but now I just feel like I have to because they're just in my face all the time. And obviously because they're gyroids, they're more chance
look
of being
at that
gyroids.
timing. Talking of gyroids, look who's just walked onto our screen.
Coco.
Little Coco. She had some lovely gyroids outside our house when I went up to see her earlier.
Yeah, I've put a couple out. I've just put one that was just matched her colour of her house.
Yeah.
But I thought she'd appreciate.
okay.
I actually should probably gift her some. I've got so much duplicates. I should probably gift her some for her house.
Yeah, they go nice in our house, wouldn't they?
Although I'm going to have to go and do. I still not did it. Happy Home Paradise, because I've just seen a few houses that people have done for their villagers, and they're just so good. And I never thought I wanted to change some of the villager houses, but I just want to now, because I can still keep it theirs, but just add a wee bit more to make it more theirs. Because now we know a wee bit more about them, especially maybe my permanent residents. I would do that for.
I've done 2, and I only made the tiniest little tweaks in both of them. So I did Lolly's to start with. I don't know if you remember, but she's always got like this empty space in the corner, like this really big empty space. So I just put a big bookcase there and just a few more books around. And then I did Sherry's as well. And all I did on Sherry's, I don't think I changed any furniture. I just took away some of the items that she had out, like the small items, and put some bunches of flowers, pot plants, that kind of thing. Just stuff that I thought she'd be interested in and would go well with her look already and make her house nice. But some of the complete restylings that I've seen have been really, really brilliant. Yeah, you need to start Happy Home. I think I finished the story bit of it now, or I don't know if you call it the story or if you call it the training or whatever you call it. But I finished that kind of first part of it where there's a few different bits that they guide you through and you learn some new techniques and things like that. And I loved it so much. It's absolutely brilliant. I think since we last chatted, I did a house for Molly, Boris, I did Antonio, Savannah, Violet. I did one for Lucky as well. And then I invited Isabel over with her amiibo and made her like a nice kind of relaxing pad. That was really cool.
So did the houses, is it just can it only be one room, or can it be upstairs and downstairs, like
in Happy Home or on your island?
On Happy Home.
At some point during it, like, you unlock the option to do an extra level.
Ah, cool. I'm not worried about spoilers because I think I can't avoid them, because I think a lot of people were sharing a lot of their endings of their story or whatever, so I never escaped any spoilers.
Oh, yeah, it's a shame that you've seen about the ending, but I feel like when they announced it, they gave away a lot of like the techniques, and mainly the intro or the training or the story or whatever is just a way of them kind of teaching you the techniques, but
Yeah.
like slowly throughout the process. I think you have to do like 30 houses until you can do every different technique that you get to unlock. And I think they showed you upstairs and downstairs in that, didn't they?
Yeah, because we did see this. We were talking about that in one of the episodes. But see, have you been doing the polishing? Because I think we spoke about this a little while. We're not going to go around polishing.
No.
No, do you know what I was going to ask? Because I was visiting a friend's island, and I went into Anka's house, and I don't know if you remember her house. She's got like obviously an Egyptian themed house.
Yeah.
And she's got that big gold casket, obviously. If I feel like it's like a sarcophagus, whatever. And there was a book on it, and it was like this black, like mist, like wispy mist coming out. Of it.
Brilliant.
But I don't even. I was asking like my friends, I was like, "What is this book? Like, what is it?" And they're like, "I don't know. Like, or maybe it's a polishing." So I don't. It wasn't intentional, but it looked really spooky, as if it was like a cursed book, and I thought it was amazing in Anka's house. And I was like,
yeah, that's brilliant.
The polishing wasn't interesting to me, but maybe I'm maybe like to see what you can do with it for like those kind of effects. Not because you want to go and polish, but how you can make some items a wee bit more interactive.
Yeah, I have seen some people do amazing polishing, actually. It's just something that I always forget about. But there are, I don't know if you can do like custom effects on it, but there are quite a lot of like weird effects that you can do. So it's not just making them sparkle. It's really cool.
Yeah, we're quite excited to do Happy. I think that now that I've just allowed myself to watch people's, and I think because I was actually visiting houses now, I think, oh no, you can actually do so much, but not actually having to change it, just enhance what's already there, basically.
And it's really easy to do as well. When you come to do your villagers' houses, it's very quick and simple. It's great. I don't know. I found that Happy Home maybe kind of spoiled the main game for me a little bit. I got to a stage last month where like actually playing on my island made me really sad, because I was just running around like thinking that all of the things that I'd done there were rubbish. And I think it was because I've been playing a lot of Happy Home and not playing on my island a lot. You go to Happy Home and you spend maybe like 1 hour or 2 hours doing a house and a garden. And it's really kind of focused time. You end up seeing the results of your effort straight away. You do the little like photo shoot at the end and they tell you how much they like it. And it's really gratifying, and it's just like a perfect chunk of time. And I don't know, like technically it's so much easier as well. Like the way that you do the decorating, the way that you put the paths down and all that kind of stuff is just really, really easy. So when you go back to your island and like you have to do the terraforming kind of manually, and everything takes like multiple play sessions, I just really couldn't get back into the swing of doing anything on my island. And I kept turning the game on and being like, I just don't want to be on Rayalby, and it was really sad. It's like the first time since the game's come out that I really felt like that.
Well, it didn't last so long though, did it?
It lasted a few weeks, and I was starting to get a bit worried that I'd lost all my kind of joy for it, because I wasn't I wasn't playing a Happy Home every day at that stage either, and I was basically only playing Happy Home when I played. So I would go on my island and wander around, speak to my villagers, and then be like, oh, I'm gonna stop playing Animal Crossing now. But you're right, it didn't last that long. I guess a lot of it was that I just didn't really have any inspiration for what I wanted. I just knew that I didn't like what I had, but I didn't know where I wanted to go with it or how to change it. But then I think I was in the shower, and then I just had like a moment of inspiration where I could picture like this vision for Rayalby, how I wanted it to be. And like that was maybe 2 weeks ago now, and I've just been like working on it a little bit at a time every day. And it's not exactly going how I wanted, but it is looking a lot better. And I am no longer sad being on my island. I'm quite enjoying running around it. Like, you've had a little look, didn't you?
Yeah, I was quite shocked because I wasn't expecting it to have changed much. But
Yeah, I changed quite a lot.
I love it. It's really, really well done. I was quite surprised, yeah. Not surprised that you did it well done, but
Thanks.
just that you'd said that you were lacking inspiration for a while, and then you'd done something. I wasn't expecting you to have done as much, and I love it. It's really good.
Well, I think I'd been quite quiet because I generally feel like there's not really a lot of point in moaning. I only really like to talk about it when I'm doing something that I'm kind of happy with, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I think I hadn't really told anyone that it was making me sad to play or anything like that. But it was a huge relief when I've just had that inspiration and actually was like really keen to go down and grab my Switch for the first time. And what I thought was, so my resident services is slap bang in the middle of the island, like right in front of the airport path. So it's really great, right in the middle. And what I ended up thinking was, like, if the line where resident services, where the plaza kind of ends, if everything in front of that was like a kind of public park space stretching right out across from the furthest east to the furthest west of the island, that would be really nice. Could be a really nice social space. And like, it's big enough that there would be lots of scope to do kind of different aspects of the park. So it's not like a million miles away from how the rest of my island looks, really, is it? Like, it borrows a bit from like the botanical gardens and stuff that I'd done before up by the museum, and the kind of more natural sort of foresty bits that I've always had. But it's definitely like a bit more neat and polished, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it runs into the resident area quite well as well. It just, yeah, flows. It's really nice. I like it. And obviously, are we going to unveil the new set next time?
Yeah, we're like right in the middle. I thought it would be great. The pride of place, right in the middle as you come in, go up the path from the airport. There's the pear tree.
And we'll get lots more visitors there.
Hopefully, like we're getting at your set today, we'll have lots of villagers come and look in.
Yeah, even Cherry, she's in the background now. I don't know if you can see her in yours. She's determined to get some screen time.
Yeah, she's getting it. They never came to visit up the back of the island where we were before, did they? So
no, I think sometimes you would get their little feet if they were up the top of the cliff. They would sometimes be looking down at us.
Yeah. So since you visited, I've finally made it to both the furthest edges, which meant that I had to move my house, and I've just chucked it somewhere for now. I think all the houses are going to have to move a little bit to kind of make this work. And on the east side, over by the pier, you've got a more foresty bit, and on the other side, it's more like flower beds, benches, and street lamps, and lots of bushes and trees. It's pretty simple. There's not really a whole host of items or anything around. I'm enjoying it, which is a relief.
No, I really like it. It's really, well, it's really polished. I think you said that. Yeah, that's a good way of describing it. Just nice.
So I'll show off some photos as we're talking about it now, but hopefully when you come and visit next episode, it'll be mostly, the front bit at least will be mostly done.
Yeah, because really I don't think you were planning on showing it off to anybody at that point. I was just coming to pick Cherry up, and
that's right, yeah.
Had to have a nosy.
You did offer to close your eyes when you flew over, but I said you didn't need to do that.
Yeah. I don't know how that would have went with my drift as well. I'd have been in the ocean. How
about you? How has there been any changes on Lockram? Have you been doing any decorating?
No, I have to be honest, as you've seen, I've still got my Christmas decorations up. I haven't really changed much apart from some of the gardens that I had been saying I've been doing for ages. And I've got unintentionally, I've ended up removing a lot of the paths, that little, what did I say it was? It was like a walkway.
Yeah. The wooden walkway.
Yeah, and I had a lot of rivers, but they're still there. I haven't done much terraforming. I just ended up taking away a lot of the paths just to make way for some of the gardens that I've done, and I think I've got a little bit leading up to Coco's house, which I still like, but it's just a lot of parting space just for that little area. So I will need to
Yeah, that's true.
Rethink that. But I have got like a Christmas themed like borders on my paths because I've just been using the paths in the Island Designer and just tried to make different, like using the different types to make paths to my museum and the resident area.
I love the museum one because you've done the circles there with the different stone paths, and then that border. It looks amazing.
Yeah, I actually had a border, I think at autumn time, so I think that's when I started doing that, and it was just a nice one, but the same creator, I think it was the same creator, or I just found the winter one at the same time. So
it's really similar, isn't it?
Yes, I would literally just have to copy, put the new pattern on that space, and I wouldn't have to actually change any.
Oh, that's handy.
Like I didn't have to lay any new paths. So I'm hoping to find maybe a nice spring one, just so I don't actually need to do too much. Because I think that sometimes when you do want to change things, it's just like the thought of terraforming and putting down new paths, and it's quite soul destroying sometimes because it's just going to be a lot of work.
Yeah.
For not a huge impact, because it's just paths at the end of the day. You've not added any more furniture, so
I think that's why the path is so effective, isn't it? Because you can just you can just put the codes on top of the old ones, and it changes everything on your island. And I do keep thinking that I'd really like to have that kind of freedom of the path again, but it was when it was snowy last year. It was so buggy. You could see between all the squares, and it looked really funny, which is a real shame.
Yeah, but that's about it for the changes in Lockram, just the gardens. And I actually finally moved Caesar. Caesar was on the beach for so long. Poor Caesar. I done his garden
and then he moved out.
Yeah, I done his garden up, and then he gave me his photo, and then he asked to leave. But I don't know if it was coincidental that he'd seen me hitting Gina a few times on the head with a net. I've been back to bopping their heads because I've had no photos for ages, and there was a lot of thought bubbles, and it was poor Dina all the time. And I'm not ready to say to Dina, she's not giving me her photo, but she's just so cute as well.
She is very cute. So
I don't know if that's why he gave me his photo before he asked to leave, just so he didn't get a head bop. But I'm going to need to look for if I don't get a cranky in the village campsite soon, I'm going to maybe look at the amiibos I've got, and I don't know if I got any crankies, I can't remember. Hopefully I've got a cranky, because I just miss them. I just like their dialogue. Yes, I'm hoping I'll get a campsite villager, or I'll need to go villager hunting if someone asks to move out, and I will be looking for a cranky. Because when I've got Cherry, I just forgot how much I like the sisterly dialogue as well.
It's great.
Yeah, I think when I asked her to move in, she was like, yeah, not like I've got anything else better lined up. Thanks, Cherry.
Oh, okay.
And then I think the first day she was out and about, walking about. And I think I spoke to her twice. But it wasn't like one after that. I think it was like hours later. And I was like, oh yeah. She's like, yeah. So how's Minutes been treating you?
Yeah.
So I miss that cheeky dialogue.
Yeah, Shari always says something like, oh, you again? It must be my winning personality.
So it was just when I was looking through all my screenshots and I was finding some for Caesar. And I was like, oh, yeah, I always like the crankies. Like, I've not had a... Yeah, you know, I've had like 4 or something at one point as well. But he was, I think he was talking to Zell. Oh, yeah, I did have Zell the last time I was there. We had an episode. And Zell must have been telling about Lockram's apples and how they tasted. And he was asking him where he gets these... What was he said? He's like, where do you get your flapdoodle from? I think he meant his speech, like his dialogue.
Yeah.
And I was like, where did you get yours from, Caesar? But Julian's like, oh, mine's is like pure original Julian. I didn't get it anywhere.
Julian, Zell.
Zell. Oh no, it wasn't. It was Julian he was talking to.
Oh, right. Oh, you've got Julian as well. I'm thinking, what?
Yeah.
Julian's my Julian, but you've got your own Julian.
Yeah, he's just funny. But I think he said, what did he say? He said something and I had to agree with Caesar. He said something about mouthfeel and I was like, how the apples, I don't know, and he described them as mouthfeel and I was like, yeah, that does not sound, that makes me...
Yeah, you've mentioned this before. You don't like the mouthfeel.
No, I don't.
Conversations, do you?
Oh, do you know what? I have mentioned that before. I just don't like it, and I think that's why it stuck in my head. I was like, yeah, I agree with you, Caesar. Mouthfeel. I don't. Oh, but yeah. So they both like Lockram apples anyway.
That's good.
Although I never gift them any. They keeps telling me how much I like them. It's only because...
Well, they can pick them or buy them from the shop, right?
Yeah, I think Tabby one time was just prancing about the plaza, you know, when they're doing that little skipping, like there's like happy.
Yeah.
And I went up to speak to her and she'd said that Zell had just gave her an apple and she enjoyed it. So maybe they just gift each other apples. Which is quite nice.
That's delightful. I had a camper in my campsite today that you might recognise. A little pink mouse with a stripy tail.
Oh, Candy.
Yeah, she's still on your island, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. She's not giving me a photo, so she's there. She's staying for a while.
She's safe for the time being.
And she hasn't had a thought bubble, so she's not been bopped.
She is really cute. I don't know if I'd noticed before that she's got like a stripy tail, like Anacotti. They've got like the really long, pointy tails, haven't they? And
yeah,
it's got little bands of stripes on, and her catchphrase is "Sweetie." I was just like, ah.
Yeah, I like so it, Sweetie. And do you know what? I think she's the only one that I've actually reverted back to. The original one is Sweetie. Usually I would just leave them, you know, when they copy other people's.
Right, yeah.
Because I think when I was looking through my screenshots, actually, she had been saying, because I think I'd changed Caesar's to that.
Okay.
And I found a conversation and she was so rude to him. I think she said she called him Groddy and definitely a meanie. But his catchphrase is cute, and that's probably what the reason why anyone puts up with you. That's what she said to him.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so maybe Candy isn't that sweet, but anyway, so she started saying and I changed it back to Sweetie when she asked me to, because she is just a wee sweetie.
That's funny.
I think like so much time has passed, I have actually forgot what's been happening on my island. It isn't until I've been looked through my screenshots that I've realised that I've actually have been speaking to my villagers and not just gifting them and ignoring them.
I had an obscene amount of screenshots to go through today, even considering that I didn't play that much for a couple of weeks. It was like 500 and something.
Oh, what did you do for Toy Day? Because I think that was the most pictures I think I took. Because I was just taking pictures and me giving them presents, like just when you're handing them over. I just don't know why.
Yeah, it's really cute though, isn't it? Yeah, Toy Day was lovely. Just the way that the villagers are so into it just makes it really, really fun.
Yeah, I think that's why I quite liked delivering in the gifts for Jingle, because they got so excited.
It's brilliant.
And I dressed up as Santa, obviously.
Yeah. And Jingle is a really cute character as well, even if he does make you do his job for him.
Yeah, no, you're carrying that big sack around.
Do you know what? Sorry, I just thought I haven't checked my Christmas stocking since I hung it up on Toy Day Eve. So I've probably got Jingle's photo in my kitchen.
Oh, I think I've got 2 already. I actually think I've took my stockings down. Do you think if I put them back up, they'd be there? I don't really want another photo, but I forgot all about that.
I don't know.
That's a cute wee Easter egg doing that.
Yeah. We had Chief's birthday on Railby as well, a few days before Toy Day, I think it is. 19th? 18th, 19th? That was really nice. Had a couple of friends come over for it, which was lovely, and Ketchup was there in a little blue party dress that I think that you would have approved of.
Yeah, I like the getting dressed up for parties. I do love seeing them.
And he looked fantastic. And it was really great to see the cranky old guy having a good dance around his weird graffitied house.
Oh yeah, he has got... Oh yeah, we spoke about Chief's house for quite a bit one time.
And do you know what? He was really not bothered about his present. He was like, oh, I think I gave him a cake. And he was like, oh, I don't really like sweet things. But then he sent me his photo in the post as a thank you gift for his birthday present. So,
oh, that was nice.
And then he immediately asked to move, straight after.
Oh, maybe that's why he gave you gave you his photo so you would see you.
If I'd unwrapped his photo before, I don't know, I probably still would have asked him to stay. I'm not quite as ruthless as you are with the...
Yeah.
Once I've got your photo, you're out, but... I think if he asked again, I'd let him go.
I've got 3 that are staying, so I'm not too ruthless.
I know.
Although I haven't found homes for my most recent ones, to be honest. I'm just hoping they might find a home someday. Because I've had a couple out of the void now, and it's nice when you've got them from someone in your friends group.
Yeah, I think so. I do actually think that is a bit nicer. It's not quite so easy for the timing to work out with people having open plots, because people are not swapping villages so much. But it's kind of nice to think of them just turning up one day in the future.
I think what put me off the last time is because I was getting some from people I'd traded with who I didn't know.
Yeah, from people you don't really know. No, I guess that's always going to be something that might happen.
Yeah.
But then, you're getting a new villager anyway, so maybe one that you might not have chosen. So it's kind of cool as well.
Yeah, I did actually have a Draco in my campsite, but he came the day I moved Caesar out, and I had that open plot for Cherry. Oh no, or when Caesar was in boxes. And he was only going to ask for Caesar to move out. To move into his...
Oh, is that the way it works, is it?
Yeah. I think if there's someone in boxes, they'll just automatically go and choose that. I didn't try any after. The first one he picked was Caesar, so I was just assuming that. So I didn't want to waste my time and try to find another villager. Because that would have meant I would have had 2 open plots at the same time, because I would have had Caesar in boxes, and then obviously if he chose Tabby, she'd have been in boxes that day as well, and I don't know if you can do that. They go straight into boxes once from the campsite visitors.
Yeah, there's a weird thing, isn't there, when you I'm not sure if it was that situation, but remember when Blair was stuck in boxes for ages?
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember what made that better. It was something like that, where an amiibo villager or a campsite villager and a normal move out, and it kind of just broke the game for a while. I can't remember how we fixed that either.
But yeah, so I never invited. Although it was weird because I didn't even play a game, and he said that he wanted to move. Like, I never played a game for like their silly items that they're trying to give away. It just like automatically asked, "Oh, I want to move here," and then we'll play a game.
That's so annoying. I was so annoyed with playing that game with Judy. I was lucky that I had her amiibo and I could just not bother.
Although it was a good surprise for her being in your campsite.
It was,
randomly.
yeah, it was really, yeah, it was. Yeah. So what else has been? Oh, did you have a good time at New Year's Eve?
Oh yeah, well I think I'd done New Year's 3 days after New Year. I hadn't played. I was a bit ill after Christmas, so hadn't played for days. But I was up in New Year's Eve. I had planned to go to yours because you had posted that you were opening for a little while, and but my switch time was a couple of minutes slow, so I would have gate crashed your countdown.
I wonder if it would have let you.
Oh no, yeah, it might have not just it might have just said we're busy, try again. I wasn't going to try that anyway.
That would have been quite funny. And it would have been annoying, but it would have been quite funny.
Yeah, although I didn't celebrate New Year's last year at New Year either. I think I did it the day after. I did it with a friend after that.
Oh, I like it. I get so excited about it. It's really cute.
I love them all dressed up. And then I had to go around everyone's house to, obviously the first foot in, and I was just basically popping poppers in their face, leaving streamers and then leaving.
Oh, it's very cute.
And I think we've just kind of went, like, we're jumping all over timeline. Because there's been a lot of things happened over these last couple of weeks, last month.
Well, I mean, we've just got to New Year's Eve, and that was 2 weeks ago now. But really, the last 2 weeks I have just been decorating. So we covered that at the start, but that's been mostly it. I did set up a big karaoke and musical chairs area for New Year's Eve, but it wasn't very nice. It wasn't, didn't look great. It wasn't very special, so.
Oh, karaoke. Have you got the karaoke machine?
Yeah.
Right, I think I catalogued that, and I actually kept meaning, I'm glad you've reminded me, because I'm going to need to order it for Tabby.
Oh, that would be perfect for a garden.
Yeah, sorry.
You're going to put it in a house.
Button in there.
That's all right. It's cool. It's a great item.
Yeah, I didn't think about gifting it.
Maybe she'd like a flame machine as well.
A what machine?
A flame machine.
Oh, do you know what? I think I have catalogued so much. I think that's why another reason I'm going to need to go to Happy Home Paradise is to see my catalogue now, because I have catalogued a lot.
Yeah, you've probably got a lot of the items that come up at Happy Home that you haven't seen, kind of, because you forget them in the shop there, or you get them when you're decorating someone's house. So you've probably got a lot that you haven't seen them in action. Yeah,
because I think it was just a friend's other day, and did a lot on their beach. Just too much to catalogue in one sitting, but I did get a few items that I hadn't seen before.
I took it really slow when the update came, because I didn't want to see all of the new stuff straight away. I didn't want to get burnt out of all the new items, but now I've been doing a big load of decorating. I kind of wish that I had access to all of the things now.
Yeah.
But it's okay because I feel like when I discover them, I can then rework like little bits of the park at a time, adding new things. I've got a couple of the cool gazebo and pergola. Do you call it a pergola or a pergola?
Pergola, I would probably say pergola, but I actually don't know how to pronounce it. It's not something I would usually talk about in real life.
Yeah, it's not the kind of thing you say out loud, but I was having this conversation with someone this morning about whether it's called a pergola or a pergola.
I would say pergola, but that doesn't mean that it's right. It probably means that it's not right, to be honest.
They look really cool. I'm glad to have them out. And I saw that you've got one on your island that looked really cool.
Have I? Don't even know. Where?
Just to the right of us.
Oh no, that's the one. That's a gazebo. That's like I can't remember what kind of gazebo is it. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, they're really similar, right?
Yeah, I do have a pergola. That's the one that's like got the vines on it or leaves or something.
Yeah.
I do have one in storage. I did have it out at one point because I do like it. Yeah, there is just so many new items. It's just, I think did say it was a bit overwhelming, but I think even with Happy Home Paradise, there's even more.
I think I'm at the stage now where I'm like happy going back on the internet and looking at people's Animal Crossing like social posts and Instagram and stuff and not worrying about being spoiled on items and things. Especially having done a lot of the Happy Home stuff, I'm not so scared about getting spoiled on that stuff too. So pretty soon I'll probably be like posting every day going, hey, has anyone got this item? Can you send it to me, please?
And there's more like that. I think there were a couple of people close to already completed their catalogue.
Yeah, probably.
I did go crazy at the start, but there was that much. It just got too much that I just couldn't do it anymore. So now I'm going into Nuke's or even Red's boat, and there's been new items there, which is quite nice.
Oh, that's true. I saw that you got Red's boat today on the map.
I know, I haven't visited him yet. Not that I need the art anyway.
Let's go and see him after.
Yeah, we'll see if he's got anything new. Because I actually got, I think last week it's like a little outdoor folding table. Oh no, it was a folding chair that I got, and I thought, oh, that's going to be ideal for me, my little fishing tournament setup. So I went on Nookazon, I think, and just searched for a outdoor. I just checked in outdoor to see if there was a table to match, and there was like a new one. So, but luckily someone on the Discord had already catalogued that, so that was just ideal. So I had a wee set up for the fishing tournament.
Perfect.
I just like when you just see an item and then you just get like inspiration for doing something rather than try to, oh, what can I do? It's just sometimes it is just that wee, just one, you could take one item and then that's you.
Yeah.
You've got a whole area planned.
I'm looking forward to being able to go back onto Animal Crossing Instagram and Animal Crossing Twitter and seeing all the cool things that people make. Because I have missed it. I think it's really cool when you see how inventive people can be, and that's a good place to go and see that stuff. Like,
definitely.
We had a watch of the High Score Club Island tour that they did the other day of Lex's Island of Dessert. You might have seen that on previous streams or on our Instagram, and they've just got an amazing island. It's like really inspiring watching them do a tour of that place and talk about all the stuff. You should check that out if you haven't already seen it. I'm going to need to.
I think I've been to Desert Dreamer Dress a couple of times. But I'll need to have a wee look at that new islands. Because I've not really been to any.
With all the new stuff.
Yeah, I've not really been to a lot of the islands since the new update, apart from one, which was just the other day, and my mind was blown. And you had to have a visit as well.
That was amazing. I knew that you would love that, and that's why I was trying to encourage you to go and have a look. But
I know, and do you know what? See, if you hadn't posted on the Discord, I'd have forgot all about it. I forgot. I didn't notice. one of our friends had opened up their islands after doing some renovations over Christmas, and it was just so good. So we went behind our house and you were just walking through all these trees, and I just seen this lamppost and I was like, oh my goodness, like, oh, this feels like Narnia. And then it was. How good was that?
Well, I love the fact that there was no indication of what the island theme was before you got there and explored.
Yeah, because I was actually quite in shock because at the start of the island, it was really well done with a lot of the, when you're walking out, it's like it was like a wee market area and a really nice path down as well. And they had redone, and it was completely different to what their island was before, and I loved their island before as well, but this was just as nice. So I wasn't expecting to find myself in a different world, and it was just really, really nice.
It's amazing.
So we got a tour around the Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe set, and just the detail, it was just so good. I can't even think. I'm going to have to go. I went back to the Dreamer dress. I'm going to need to go round I had to clear out screenshots so that I could take screenshots of.
Oh, have you got some pictures?
Yeah.
Because I think I was just walking around admiring everything, and I don't think I took any pictures. But that's. I do have the Dreamer dress, and we'll share it below.
I took a couple of pictures, but only a couple because I'd like maxed out my storage on my memory card. So I was like, well, do you know what? I'll just save it and come back to the Dreamer dress.
The thing that I really loved about it is that the theme was really strong, but it was like the kind of atmosphere of the whole place that really made it really, really special. So things like all of the villager houses had been done out in like period decoration, so there weren't any electronics or anything that was like out of place for that time.
Yeah.
You know, I love the fact that there were like really dense forested bits, and it was like hundreds and hundreds of trees.
Yeah, it was
just perfect.
No, it really was. It was really, you were there in Narnia.
Absolutely.
And that the use of a lot of the items, I wouldn't have even thought of it. It must have been a really fun experience to build it.
Yeah. The choice of the villagers was perfect.
Yeah, I was just...
The villagers' houses were just spot on. They're amazing. And then some of the special rooms that were done in the player houses as well were just like magical. It's really, really good.
So did you go to see the Dreamer dress? You'll need to go and see the Dreamer dress. Because there is extra characters that aren't in when you go and visit.
Yeah, that's right, because you don't get to see all the players, do you? So
yeah.
But when you visit a dream, all the players are wandering around. Yeah, that was very special.
Although I'm going to be sad now that this snow's going away, because it's going to be a lot of work to do, or you just need to keep it winter forever. I'd be quite inclined to do that.
Isn't that the point of the Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe? It has been probably 30 years since I read it, but
yeah, that does. Well,
isn't it always winter and never Christmas? Is that the idea? Yeah.
But I don't know if they would like their friend would like her island winter for that long. I miss so much, because I was actually, I think, going to Capon Islands and seeing the green grass on some of the tropical islands. I'm thinking, oh, I wish this snow would go away now.
Yeah, don't worry. They've like snow for another 2 months, right?
Yeah, is it February? Oh, is it March?
May, end of May it finishes or something, isn't it?
No. What?
No.
The snow? Are you kidding? Are you... I was thinking, oh my God, no way. But yeah. I think it's February.
What's next? Festivale. Doesn't it feel like only yesterday that we had that?
What, Festivale?
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah, this year has disappeared.
But that's February, right?
No, is it not this month? I
Is
don't
it?
actually know. Festivale. I thought it was this month because you seen my beach, it's covered in Festivale items.
I thought it was February because it was something
That
to do
is
with like
February.
Mardi Gras and stuff, right?
Yeah, maybe that's, yeah, February. That makes sense. Oh, I've got plenty of time to decorate then.
It's definitely still snowing when Pave comes.
Yeah,
Is it Pave?
Pavy.
Yeah.
Pavy, yeah. Oh, he's a bit full on.
He's amazing.
I love his little moves. And now we've got more reactions to do as well. We can like proper dance and do different dance moves as well. Or maybe we'll get even more. No, is there going to be more? I know there's no updates, like big updates, but there's still a lot of space.
There's still a lot of space. Cool. Oh, it's been amazing catching up. I've missed doing this.
Yeah, thank you for visiting. It's been good catching up, even if it was a disjointed timeline of our time. There has been so much happening over the last month.
I think our episodes are always like that. They're just basically us rambling on like whatever pops into our head.
I know, because I kind of try to write some notes down because I've obviously things have happened, but then I end up talking about things that I forgot about that just pop.
I have to say before we go, I think that you look absolutely smashing in your outfit today. And I love that we've got like matching hats, even though we didn't do any coordinating.
Yeah. We never do.
And you match with your little puppers there as well, which is very cute.
Yeah, I think I've been wearing these like neutral brown colours for a few days now, but just different variation, different tops.
Yeah, I just had this jumper in my wardrobe. I don't think I've ever worn it before, but I think it looks quite cute.
That is nice.
And I love these snowy hats with the pom-pom. I kind of want one in real life.
Yeah, these are my favourite winter hats, I think. And I feel that if I've got a winter hat on, I can wear like a top that maybe not be like a full jumper. You know, I've obviously got just like a vest on here. I just feel like I can get away with wearing a vest over a long sleeve t-shirt if I've got a hat on. 'Cause at least my head's cold. My head's warm.
Yeah. And I can get away with wearing no socks and shoes because my head's warm.
Actually, I've always got Nordic socks on in the winter. I don't know if you've got that item.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah.
But I actually got a pair of Nordic socks for my Christmas in real life, and I was really so pleased about it. I think I was probably more excited than a pair of socks than I've ever have been because they were Nordic socks.
You can live your Animal Crossing life in real life.
Although they didn't have like leggings with them, they were just like the socks in the game. It's like you've got it's like tights or something, and then socks over
But
them.
you can you can put them on
I
at your
can do that.
leggings,
I
right?
get some long johns and pop them over it.
Are they toasty warm in real life?
They are, but they're really comfortable. They're not like they keep you warm, but they're not too warm. If you know what I mean. If you're in the house, and sometimes they're just
excellent. Cool. Well, thanks for having me over, Sandi.
What must me babbling on.
It's been great. It's been really good fun. Love to catch up. Thanks a lot. And thanks to all of our friends for joining us and watching along. Leave us a comment. Say hi. Come and join our Discord if you want. And take care until the next one. Hopefully the next one won't be very long coming. Next week or two, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Lovely stuff. Thanks, Sandi. I'll see ya.
Thanks for coming, Luke. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.